Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and this is Coco, and today is our Cal 2023 colour reveal for June and also our stitches for those of you following along with our stitch sampler blanket. Coco is so ready for her chicken, it isn't funny. She has been very patient. So I'm just going to give her her little treat right now so that we can get started. She shall say woof woof to all of you. And I shall pop her little treat down. You'll hear her snorting away in the background now. She's chewing on it. And we shall get started. So welcome everybody. Already it is the 18th of March and we are going to be halfway done after we put these colours into our blanket. So always working from our spectacular Sydney calendar. This is the month of June. Let's have a little look. Let's try to get that light off it as much as I can. What you can see there in the corner is the historic Queen Victoria building. About 25 years ago, it was refurbished. So basically it was gutted all inside and it was restored to its original glory. It is a beautiful building with many gorgeous shops in there. It is a bit of a tourist attraction and it's got a lot of nice places to also have some lunch or some, some brunch. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what you can see here is the light rail. That's only been recently added, let me guess, 5 years or so. They reintroduced it into Sydney. They had taken it away for a while. So it's like the tram system, I guess, like in Melbourne, for example, and other parts of the world. So I can see many shades of similar colours. For example, there's lots of different greens and things in there. I think that might be long enough. There's the top of the building as well. It's actually a beautiful building. I think it takes up a whole entire block. Okay, so now that we've had a nice little look at it, I'm going to bring across our little box that we put all our colours in. And as always, I have had a little look before I showed you as well because, under the light, sometimes I get to see the colours a little better. So let's get started. I saw orange and I hope you all did it as well. Actually, quite a few different in the stained glass windows. I don't know if you guys were able to see that close, but there's so many beautiful stained glass windows. Blue in the sky and everywhere else. Yeah, the stained glass windows are beautiful. Purple. Someone was very stylish and had some purple clothes on. We also saw red on the light rail and in other areas. And the beautiful greens that we saw again in the windows and in the trees. And there was grey. And I also saw some very crisp white shirts that some people were wearing and t-shirts. Now, before we, choose our colours, I just want to remind all of you and those of you who may have just joined us, because I know some people are jumping on, at this stage. We're going to choose 3 colours from in here. So we'll shake them all up and randomly choose 3. And then I have a wild card colour for you, which is very exciting. So in total, 4 new colours for the month of June. So let's shake it all about. I love this part. I know I say it every time, but I really do. The first colour is grey. Our next colour, green. Green has been very popular. And lucky last for the 3 in here, orange. Perfect. Now, what will the wild colour be? The wild card colour is pumpkin. So, pumpkin, orange. Now, pumpkin was the whole entire Queen Victoria building. So I will just remind you all, Not that you missed it at all, but what a great match that is. I just thought that was amazing, and I absolutely love the color. So I thought, let's incorporate it. So we have our pumpkin, orange, green, ooh, not very good at holding these, and grey. So I think all those colors are going to work very, very well together. As usual, we always make them work, so that is amazing. So all of you get your, I've got my scraps here, and oh, there's the orange already sitting on top. How wonderful. So I've got my hook that I'm using with, which is a number 6mm hook, because I am using mainly my Spot Saver scraps, and they love working with this hook, and so do I. So gather all of your scraps. Those of you that aren't joining us for the Stitch Sampler stitches, you don't have to worry about those, but if you'd like to continue watching, that'll be wonderful, so you can see what we'll be creating. Now, for the month of June and July, we're going to do what we did in the previous 2 months, and that's work with 2 stitches. So the 2 stitches for the months of June and July that we'll be using are June's stitches puff, and then we'll be building on top with the July stitch, the double crochet, and that's in US terminology. And I do have a little sample here to show you what it looks like. So basically we ended last month with the half double crochet, and then we've got our puff stitch row here and our double crochet row here. And as you can see, again, it's pretty important that we combine the 2 stitches, because it will make sure that the puff stitch is opened up by putting the double crochets in between, so that way the width of our blanket will be the same for the whole length of the blanket, and that's our ultimate goal here, to make a beautiful product in the end. Now, I do have a tutorial that I will release with this blanket, after this video, so that anybody that needs to see how it's done can have a visual, and any of you that just want a refresher, please go along and watch it as well. Very simple stitches to create both of them. If you've never created a puff stitch though, you will have to do a little bit of practice, and just take your time with it. The main thing that I will remind you about, which is very, very important when we're creating any project, but this one in particular, please take the time to count your stitches. So for example, I've started with 182 stitches. So I want to make sure that I continue with that the whole way up. So take the time to have your stitch markers on the end. Take the time to count the first row of puff stitches. And then when you build on your double crochets, take the time to check that as well. And that way, you'll be getting your rhythm, and you know that you're on the right path. And please, like I always do, take the time every so often to recount. It doesn't hurt. It only takes a minute or so, but it really is worth that effort. The other thing that you just need to remember is that because we are using the 2 stitches for the 2 months, you only have to complete the amount of rows that you would be just for June. So for example, I will be continuing with 12 rows. So 1, 2 would be, so 1 puff and 1 double crochet, already 2 rows. So I'll do 6 sets, in other words, for example. So that's something you need to be mindful of. So next month, so for our July colors, for that month, when we pick our colors, then we'll continue doing the same combination of the 2 stitches until we complete the amount of rows that we want. Now, speaking of July, that is going to be 1, 2. Okay, so it will be the 1st of April that we'll be drawing those colors. So any of you, and I will remind you again next week, any of you that are doing a corner to corner, in July is when you're going to start decreasing your blankets. So gather all your colors, everybody. Watch the video to accompany this video if you're doing the Stitch Sampler blanket. Get started. I can't wait to see your additions. I'm actually very excited about these colors. I really do love the orange and the pumpkin. And I think the grey will be actually a nice addition. And I can't even imagine how many versions of the green we'll see, because there were so many in the stained glass window. So I'm really excited about that. And as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. Send me an email. Don't forget to post your progress of your blankets in our Instagram page, which is hashtag Coco's Crochet Cal 2023, so we can all admire them. And you can also pop them if you wish, you know, tag us at Coco's Crochet __. Email your photos to us as well if you'd like for me to showcase them here in our podcast so we can all see them, because I think that all of you are producing such beautiful, beautiful blankets that it'd be a shame to just keep them to yourself. So if you do want to share, please do so. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever you may have planned. I think my only plan for this weekend is, other than catching up with my mum, which I always do on a Saturday morning, and maybe do a little grocery shop, then I'm going to spend some quality time crocheting. I can't wait for that. So Coco and I will have to choose a few shows to be watching and catch up with all our YouTube videos that, you know, we try to do so every day. And on that note, have a wonderful time. I shall see you all again very, very soon in another video. And don't forget, please watch our tutorial as well on the puff stitch and the double crochet stitch. Yay, June, halfway done, people. Amazing. How the time is flying. I can't wait to see the additions to our blankets. So get started. Take care, everybody. Bye bye for now.